June 2nd, 11:03 a.m. I saw the waves, woke up, heard MJ's message. I'm not paying the $33.33 a month anymore just to hear that extra bit of information. One, because financially I'm just not in a place to do that anymore. Two, I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna let things play out, right? I mean, there's a certain level of like, I'm tapped into me, right? Enough where I'm gonna have to trust me a little more without some people's help, right? And I mean, people do it all the time. I'm kind of like cutting the cord, right? and being pushed out of the nest, like, okay, fly now, fly. that's how I'm feeling right now, of really needing to practice what I've learned. And so I decided that yesterday. I'm not going to renew it. I'm just going to listen to what everyone else listens to and wing it. To a certain degree, just wing it. And so this morning's message, there was a sense of like, all right, you gotta stop being lazy. and I can get into this rut. And yesterday I was feeling it, like beginning of the week, I slept like I've never slept before. And I think my body just needed that. And then yesterday, the same thing. And only yesterday, like, there were moments where I'm just like, oh, I just want to crawl in my bed and pull my covers over my head and I don't want to talk to the world, you know, like that feeling. And then hearing her message this morning, it was just like, all right, get your ass up, you know, you're a hard worker. And I think the challenge, and I mean, of course, right, it resonates. And it's true. Like, I've been exploring and dabbling, and I mean, I thought about modeling, right? And then even one day I was driving to the art studio and downtown, and I even remember asking God, like, okay, God, if I'm supposed to do modeling, like, show me this number. I didn't see it. So I was like, okay. On the way back, we were in the middle of ¿cómo se llama? Scheduling a training days for the people that we're hiring. One of them happens to be a voiceover actor, and I thought about that, and I've been looking into it, and I might have mentioned it before, maybe not. I know I mentioned it to a few people. I'm like, that sounds like a lot of fun, you know, being a narrator or you know, just using my voice, right? It seems like fun. And then when I thought about that, I happened to see a sign that was like connected, almost like yes, that's the route to go, but I wasn't sure, so I was like, I don't know. And then I mentioned it to a friend of mine, and he sent me some information, and I came across some YouTube videos that were really helpful, and then to have this person that I'm training, and I trained her last week, that's the work that she does, and hearing that, you know, she gets like residual income from it, I was like, well, that would be nice, right? It's fun, and after one job I might get this ongoing income after. I'm like, that sounds like a lot of fun. Just I don't know how to do that, right? I mean, aside from what people share on YouTube, right? And I know it's anything is that was a big part of my issue too, is this competitive world, right? That there's other people doing the same type of work, and you're kind of fighting for the same job. But then I thought about it just now, actually, and then I thought, well, even in therapy, right? When you have your own practice, you're kind of also, right, trying to promote yourself and you know, hoping that you get clients in, right, to for business. And hoping that what you have to offer will be enough to keep them coming. And I think it's a little different with insurance companies because the referrals just come to you, whereas here it's a little bit different. You kind of have to put yourself out there. It's a world I don't know of, right? So that's been in the back of my head. And trying to decide, well, am I painting? Am I creating? Am I modeling? Like, what am I going to do? And the voiceover just seems a good balance of comfort, right? Where it's like behind the scenes, not in front of a camera, you know? And then at the same time, I'm still putting myself out there. I'm using my voice, right? People have told me I have a nice voice. Let's see where that takes me. So before I meditated, I asked God. I was like, okay, is that the route that I'm supposed to go? So I see the waves and I see the cycle moving forward this time. So yesterday was the cycle closing, with the movement going like this around, and then it started going like this, but it wasn't completely like the one that was going forward, like for the new cycle. It wasn't complete, like it was like it would stop at like maybe here. Today it was a little more. So I took that as a sign. I'm like, okay, voiceover. That's what I'm gonna dabble into. I mentioned that this fire sign and I are communicating. This new person, friend, really, right now. And there's a certain element of I'm a little nervous. I mentioned before I'm a little nervous. One, because I don't know where it's going, and so anyways, we're communicating, getting to know each other, and it's nice. I really, the fact that he's putting the effort to get to know me, and it just, that alone, that alone means a lot. It means a lot. And then he's so interesting. So I'm left wanting to know more. I'm left wanting. Because it's just something I haven't experienced before. So anyways, we're communicating back and forth, and I'm telling him about my week. And I mentioned, I'm like, I think I'm at the end of God's good humor, financially speaking. I really need to figure it out this month. I really need to figure it out. Even though I'm grateful that people are offering help, I really need to figure it out. And so I mentioned to him, you know, that and that this month I'm also having to work on asking for help and allowing people to help me. I mean, I remember being a freshman. I was at a new school. It was I came from humble beginnings. It was a smaller, it's 11:11. It was a smaller environment that I came from, and then I moved to a more affluent area. And it was a high school that people fought to get into. And I stayed there for 2 years, and I couldn't adjust. I couldn't acclimate. It was just the income gap was just so much. And just the way everything was about like status, and just, it turned me off. And I'm like, that's just not me. And I couldn't really, I tried getting involved in clubs, and it was just challenging. Everything was so expensive, and I knew our financial situation wasn't that such. I mean, even though we were living in the neighborhood, it really was by God's grace, right? And I remember in the math class, I was really smart, so I had all these classes, and I remember in a math class, I didn't know what I was doing. And I was struggling, and the boy next to me saw that I was struggling. He offered help. He's like, I can teach you. I'm like, no, I can figure it out. And I just, my pride got in the way, and I was just, you know, like that, like, I can do this on my own, right? That I because I'd been doing it on my own. to a certain degree. Like, I didn't ask for help. I never really asked for help growing up. That's my phone. No, just let it ring. So that's bugging me. Give me pause. Okay, unpause. Yeah, I was just, I couldn't allow him to help me, even though I needed help. So, I know that's a lesson that I'm working on, allowing people to give to me without the need of me having to give back. So I'm right. So I have the vision, the wave, and that's in. This fire sign is sending me a message, and I respond back, just updating him where I'm at, and the fact that I'm leaning towards this possible venture of voiceover acting, and just not really knowing what I'm supposed to do, and I told him about my lesson of needing to allow people to help me, and yeah, so yeah, and then just talking about, you know, this next month, because we're scheduling, hopefully able to connect physically, like hang out when Hannah and I go to San Francisco. And you know what he responds with? He's quick to respond back, and he tells me that he's that's the kind of work that he used to do. That he was a voiceover coach, and that the line of work that he used to do in advertising, that's what he did, and that he'd like to talk more about that. So, listening to it, I'm just like, okay. One, I've never mixed business with pleasure before. I've never mixed business with pleasure. But just how things are horrible. You can't make this stuff up. Like, you can't make this stuff up. I don't know where this is going. But that's what happened this morning. That's what happened. So, I need to get my shit together. This month I need to get my shit together. I need to clean. I need to make sure I get myself back on a routine that I really enjoyed. And there's graduations tomorrow and Friday that I'm attending, and I want to bake cookies, so I need to do that. And yeah, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that as a side job, because I still plan on helping Hannah. I still, you know, I talked to a business friend of mine yesterday and just kind of let him know what was going on, and he gave me some good advice that I'm going to share with her, and he's just hang in there, Yubi, just hang in there. It's, you know, she, you know, he's, you know, for me this is new, so he's just like, for you it's new, for her she knows what it takes, and just remember to stay balanced. He said, make sure you take care of you. And the same thing, he's just like, you're very kind, you know. He's like, I don't want people to take advantage of you. So I thanked him for the insight, and I'm just so grateful to have friends. And I told him, like, I think I mentioned it, you know, told him I'm happy to smart friends like you in my life. It's like, you're the one with the degree. Like, but I'm not street smart. I'm book smart, but I'm not street smart. I'm working on that. I'm grateful. Grateful for this world, for the people in my life, for the people that are coming into my life, for people that are making me effort to stay and be a part of my life in one way or another. I'm grateful to them. Very grateful. That's all. That's all I should. Guys, have a good one. Hi, my name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best.